I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on what the 6, 7, and major 7 means in a chord. And this presumes that you understand that C chord has 3 notes, C, E, and G. And the first note of that we call the root, because if you think of it, it's the bottom of the chord. It's like the roots of a tree. The next note up is called the third, because if you were to count these notes and count the root as 1, then the D would be 2, and then the E right there would be 3. So it's called the third. And then this G is called the fifth, sorry, because if E is the third, then F would be 4, and then 5. Right? So we're just counting up notes. C is 1, since it's the root. D 2, E 3, therefore the third. F would be 4, and then fifth would be, or 5 would be G. Root, third, fifth, and we've learned this. When you have a 6 chord, it means that you went root or 1, third, fifth, and you just add the note that is a 6 in the steps above. Okay? And when you add a 7 chord, there's 2 different kinds of 7s here. There's plain 7 and what we call major 7. There's still both a 7 above. So C is 1, it's the root, and then E is the third, and G is the fifth. And then if we went 6, this is 7. But depending on how high this note is, you can see one's got a flat, right? So if I were going like this, C, E, G, here's my B right there, and then B flat is that note right there on the black key, which is lower. Different specific locations of those notes give us kind of different sounds or different recipes, and we have to give them special names like major 7 or plain old 7. There's other ones too. And we learn how to calculate all of those in the second half of the term. Right now we're just trying to get root, third, and fifth down so we can get these basic chords. And that's it. Now, where does that land on the ukulele? Well, again, you don't need to have this information perfect. It's a longer journey than that. But if we look at these notes, we've already learned, for instance, this is a C, and that's the E, and there's my G, right? And then when we put our finger right there, then that becomes a C again, but up high, like right here. So we can redo notes in the chord when we play it on the instrument. It's just redundant. They could be in a different octave, high or low. So when we play C6, which is all the open notes, then this first note here is my C, right? Right there. And then this note right here is my E, and that's my G. That's all the notes of the chord to make the C chord we need. And this note right here is A, which you've learned on your flashcards, which makes the 6 right there, right? Now, if you think about this C right here that we played up here for the C chord, if you come back a half step, that's my B right there, which, quote, makes the C major 7. And like I said, please don't get hung up on major versus not major 7 right now, because we need to learn why those are called those things. And right now we're still at the read notes, basic chords, learn about flats and sharp steps. But you can see that it's the next note up in sort of the stack of notes, and it's the 7. And then if we come from here and we lower the note or put a flat on it, it becomes B flat. And that's how we play the C7. Okay? I can't emphasize enough that there's an entire ocean of theory out there, and it's good to be curious and to want to know these things. However, it's also important to know that we can't understand every single thing. If it's brought into the course, for instance, to help us learn how to play these chords on the ukulele, to get us from here to there and then over to an F9 and then the F chord like this, or there to the major 7 and then the G6, and then we put all 3 notes in there. Can't see it right now, like that, to make our G. It's so that we have a physical advantage and a way of a step forward or a path forward, because it's hard for people to move more than one finger at a time. It's hard enough to move one finger until we train them a little bit. So it's breaking it down to its simplest physical movements. And I put the names of these chords on anyways, because you might as well know what they're called, and they'll help you later when we say, how do we spell these chords? What are they? And then you go, oh, I already know one of these. and you'll be able to look at the notes and say, that makes sense. I hope that helps.